Just wanted to do a follow-up to the parking attendant. Parking attendant, the parking firm apologises after warden issues ticket to ambulance on double yellow line. Right. Let me show you the rules for double yellow lines for parking. Double yellow lines. This is just tried with tips. But if I scroll down to the bottom, it says here, authorities such as the police and ambulance authorities are permitted to stop and park on double yellow lines, providing they are engaged on official duties. So for me, when they say official duties, that means attending an emergency, attending, trouble. I've actually seen this somewhere else. Another paper has investigated this, and they say that the actual traffic warden was actually within his rights to issue the ticket, which, as I said before, I believe this female paramedic was particularly entitled and felt butthurt that she was going to get a ticket, and tried to shame this traffic warden into not issuing a ticket. But I think if this goes to court, the ambulance service could find themselves in trouble. To the letter of the law, they shouldn't have parked there, and the highway code states that I think even the police services, their vehicles are not allowed to park on yellow lines unless they're on official duties. So even the police are not allowed to park on there. If they're, they go in to go and get something to eat, then they're not with their vehicle, they're likely to get a ticket. If they're doing a job, they're not going to get a ticket. Just like the ambulance service. If they were actually dealing with someone in the Tesco store who was ill, then they would not have got the ticket. And even if they did get the ticket, all they have to do is contest it. Instead, they decide to shame and embarrass a guy who was doing his job. And unfortunately, here we go, parking firm apologises after the warden issues the ticket. So it doesn't matter whether it was their first break in 8 hours. It's got nothing to do with the traffic warden. He was doing his job, and instead she's demonstrating with him, trying to embarrass him in not issuing the ticket, and he stood his ground. Let me just try and clear this. It's not clearing. There we go. I mean, I've had nothing to drink and nothing to eat. What's that got to do with the traffic warden? The traffic warden is doing his job, and here we go. And the firm who patrol the car park outside the shopping precinct in Norwich, Cheshire, have now apologised and said they would be retraining wardens. Retraining wardens for what? He was doing what he was within his right to do that. The highway code states that you're not allowed to park on yellow lines because they're restricted, especially if there's no notice up. So it's enforced 24 hours a day. Those are yellow lines outside of Tesco's. Those are bollards outside of Tesco's. They're there for a reason. But instead now this guy, there we go. They say they have personally apologised to them. Wow! And will be making a donation to their charity as a goodwill gesture. The heated exchange was This is new. Haven't seen this. Was filmed by outraged passersby Ian Twat French, and has since been widely shared on social media. Let me tell you something, people. This is proof now. If you do your job, and he was doing his job, you're likely to get sacked, or you're likely to be blamed. The firm should have stood by there and should have looked at the rules, but they didn't. What unfairness? It's the law. You know, this idiot of the name Ian French said he felt particularly strongly about it, hoping to bring attention to what was happening to the hard-working paramedics. Listen, they do a job, we know that, but they're no different from anybody else. There are people who do 12, 14-hour shifts every day. They are no more special than anybody else. So it happened on Tuesday. And you always get an arsehole who's always got a butt in and, talk nonsense. I mean, this guy sounds like a real nightmare as it is. Unfortunately, I mean, he's asking, where's the silence? He says, she's not on call, she's having lunch, which is correct. So why couldn't she park the vehicle? She could have parked the vehicle, and he stated if she'd have taken up 2 spaces, it wouldn't have got a ticket. They are getting some food, so they're not on call. Correct. They're on standby, but they're not actually on call dealing with someone in Tesco's. There you go. The female paramedic appears and asks where she should park. Why are you asking him where she should park? You know where you should park. There's a car park. Go and park in there. Because the fan doesn't fit in any of the bays, apart from the disabled spots. Which he said he would have quite happily allowed them to do that. She says here, I've been on since 6:45 this morning. I've had nothing to drink, nothing to eat, and now I'd like to go into to Tesco to get some water. So there you go. She's very entitled. She wants to go in, and she's going to park her vehicle there because she feels entitled to do so because she's somebody special. Nobody else is special, just her. She needs to park her vehicle there. He answers, I understand, that's fine, you can do that, but you can't be parking on a double yellow line, can you? Which is right. The attendant does not work for Tesco's, but for Birmingham-based Euro Parking Services. So they've bent over backwards, and unfortunately, in a statement, the Adrian Nesbitt, HR manager for the firm, said, it is a mistake on our part. We will contact the ambulance service to offer our apologies and put together a full training package to ensure it doesn't happen again. The ambulance service is very important to our community. We don't want to hinder them, and we are very saddened by it. Why? This is just nonsense. Again, he didn't do anything wrong. He was doing his job. A spokeswoman for NWAS, there we go. We are aware of the video circulating, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, all they had to do is take the ticket, if they were going to take the ticket, and hand it into the boss and say, look, we've got a ticket. But I'm sure the reason why they didn't want to take the ticket is because they would have, the boss or the ambulance service would have questioned that, said, well, why were you parked on double yellow line? Because they know what the rules are. As it says in here, double yellow lines, authorities, services such as the police and ambulance authorities are permitted to stop and park on double yellow lines providing they are engaged on official duties. So they weren't engaged on an official duty, they were getting something to eat. So they could have parked the vehicle, they could have taken out a couple of spaces, go into Tesco's and get something to eat. If they were worried about, an emergency call coming up straight away, one of them should have stayed in their vehicle, the other one should have gone and got something to eat. So if there was an emergency call, they could have just quickly bring their vehicle around, the other one could have jumped into the vehicle and gone to the emergency service. It's nonsense. It's just, this is the case of somebody who is feeling entitled and feeling very important in themselves. So I'm just trying to get this, feeling very important in themselves. And that's the ambulance woman I'm talking about. She, I've been up since for 12-hour shift. And now, unfortunately, the firm has had to apologise because they're going to lose, probably lose their contract for something that they were employed to do. They were employed to keep the traffic flowing and unhindered. So, no, this guy was doing his job, and he was within his right to issue the ticket. Back your employees, but no, they just want to back down, and this is wrong. They should see that, and they should have stood up and say, no, our traffic warden did the right thing, did the correct thing, and this is entitled people these days. I hope if this guy loses his job, sue the firm and sue the ambulance service, because if this went to court, the ambulance service would lose. They would lose. They would be taken to task. They would lose. Anyway, that's my take on it. Thanks for listening.